All right, hey, what's going on, everyone? I hope everybody had a good weekend. Welcome back to YouTube. This is Aaron coming at you from New York City. Today we are summarizing and we're reviewing and summarizing the trades that we took from yesterday's open, the weekend open, and on Sunday night, and through the regular trading hours close on Monday. So you can tell um, from the title of the video, I made around $500 over the past 24 hours, and a little bit over. Oh no, a little bit over $526. There's some change there. And again, I'm not showing you my account statement, to prove it, but I am going to share with you the trades that I took and the amount of contracts that I took to get there. So that should be enough of proof. I mean, that's about as far as I'm going to take it. So let's get right into it. Today I did take a well. First, let's talk about the trade that I took on Friday after I actually did this broadcast. On Friday, so Friday was June 26th. So let's rewind the clocks back a little bit. So here, we did have a gap down on Friday. So Friday was one of those days, if you recall, I had a virtual business seminar that went for 3 days, and it was kind of, I really wanted to be trading instead of being there, but it was an important seminar to be at, so I sacrificed a couple of trading days to be there, and I was just okay with it. So Friday was a losing day for me. I took a losing trade, and my mind wasn't really in the game, so I just left it at that. But at the very end of the day, I had a feeling that I just wanted to take a shot, and there was a couple of other traders that I follow on Twitter, and they all hinted that there was a little bit more bearish momentum for the market to go down a little bit more, and obviously today, it bounced back, but I did decide to give it a shot. I mean, I had a pretty good week otherwise, and so I took a short from when did I exactly take a short? Let's go down to like the 3-minute candles here. So the gap happened. Okay, so here's the gap. Right here. I took the short right here. TradingView doesn't do that great of a job of telling me what exact price that I got in, but you can tell somewhere in this 3-minute candle in this time span I got in, probably around the 7 or 750. I like these quarter numbers, so it's probably somewhere around there. Anyway, I took the short, and I was making a few bucks by the end of the market close on the... Wait, let me just make sure. June 26th, right around. Okay, going right here. Okay, so this is how the market closed. It closed down here. This is a bullish candle, so it closed right around 3,300. So I made a few bucks, right? It's like I made like 7 points. Not really anything to brag about, so I didn't really talk about that. I didn't come back on a YouTube video to brag about, hey, I made like, $20 or something like that. That's not really what I wanted to brag about. But there was a couple of indicators, and there was enough of a consensus with some of the traders that I follow on Twitter that the market would gap down over the weekend. And it did. And if it gapped down, the idea was that, this huge gap right here would serve as a support area. And give me a do I have any kind of rectangle that I can use here? gonna have to get better at using some of these drawing tools. So here's a rectangle. So this little gap area right here is theoretically should have acted as a support area, but you can tell obviously if I extend this around, obviously it didn't, right? It gapped down, but it started creeping back up, and it ultimately broke through. It didn't actually bounce back down. So I ended up getting out of the trade, or I broke even out of this trade or something like that. Nothing really too spectacular. I took this short, and when did I take profit? I think I took profit right here. Yeah, so I didn't actually even make nearly as much as I had hoped, right? I shoulda, woulda, coulda taken profit all the way down here. I didn't really have a target set. It was just I just took a stab at the market, and I got lucky. Really, is really what it comes down to. So nothing really to be proud of there necessarily. But I did see that the market was starting to pick up, and this is the S&P 500, kind of my bread and butter here, and it was starting to pick up. You can see that our the 8-period EMA and the 89-period EMA started to change up a little bit here. So I like the 3000. So I know I took a 3000 somewhere. I must have been right here. So I must have taken this 3000 even long, and you can see that the double arrow there is that I'm gonna start taking multiple contracts as a way of actually managing risk. It might sound like riskier if I'm taking 2 contracts instead of 1, because I can lose potentially twice as much. But it's actually a form of risk management that I have come to really like, which is that if I take 1 contract and set a profit at a 1-to-1, let's say, so like for this one, I bet I did like a 10-point stop. Probably didn't want to do more than that. So if I do a 1-to-1, and I probably got it, so 3000 to 310, yeah, I must have got it right here. So if I take if my risk is 10 points, and I want a 1-to-1, which I ended up getting, right? I got it right there. Then the second trade that I have, where I'm risking the same 10 points, is actually a free trade. Even if I lose that trade, I am actually only going to end up breaking even, because I have already locked in and guaranteed 10 points worth of profit. I already closed out that trade and put it in my wallet. So to me, that strategy is it's more of a mental and emotional management strategy than anything else. I like the concept that even if I have my stop and I don't move my stop, I keep it 10 points down here. Because I already booked in 10 points worth of winning, even if I get stopped out, the worst case scenario is that I'm breaking even maybe and give up a few bucks in commissions for futures trading, right? So I really like that idea. So I took 2 contracts, and the thing is, you need more margin to do it. And TradeStation, which is where I'm trading, you can see I'm trading in TradeStation here. They don't have the best margin. They integrate with TradingView really well. I love their mobile app. They have really good charting packages, but margin requirements is not really their strong suit. So you need more money to place the same amount of trades, as opposed to some of the other smaller brokers out there that offer more competitive margin rates, but then they make you pay for data, like charting services and data packages. So there's like a subscription fee involved. TradeStation doesn't have that. So it's like win some, lose some, depends how you want to look at it. So anyway, I have I have more money in my account now, as I mentioned last week, and starting this week, I'm going to start taking multiple contracts. And so far, in the past 24 hours, I'm just going to knock on wood here. So far, so good. It's been an effective way of managing risk. So what do I mean by that? So I took this one trade, 10 points. I got my 10 points, which means the second trade right here, it's the same risk, same entry at 3,000, but I'm my mind is more is less stressed out. I'm more free to let price move around and not have to worry about moving stops. Like it's like there's less clutter and stress on my mind, because even if I lose this trade completely, got stopped out, it's a break-even trade, and that's exactly what happened. You can see that I can, it seemed to do a little bit of a roller coaster move, up and down, up and down, up and down, and I should have taken profit at the quarter, right? I should have. You guys usually know that I like to do that, but I didn't. I decided to just kind of let it run. And this morning on the open, I got stopped out. So my stop was probably around 29.90, sorry, 29.90. And yeah, I definitely got stopped out right there, right? 29.90, 10-point stop. I got stopped out. But that's okay. And this game is all about managing regret, emotions, and not going on tilt, to use some poker language. And so for me, I'm like, whatever. I found myself being like, whatever, break even trade. Any trade. It's like I say in blackjack. I don't know if you guys play blackjack. I like to play. That's actual, just true gambling. But I like the game, and we have a saying in blackjack: just a push is a win. A tie is a win. And so it's same kind of philosophy here. This to me was a tie, a break even was a win. And I emotionally relate to it as as a win. I'm totally okay with it. It's is it technically a loss because of the commissions? Yeah, but whatever. Like, I'm not really even counting that because of the I'm trading with thousands of dollars. Any win is usually not less than $100. So like $1.50 here and there, both ways, in and out of the contract. Like, I don't really care. I'm really not paying attention to that. I'm not even calculating that. To be honest, like, it's just oops, sorry about that. It just adds a form of stress that I don't really want to deal with. So what did I do? So I got stopped out. Okay, so that's that. That's the end of that. But now we have our opening breakout trade. So here's the 9:30 candle, and you can see it moved all the way down. Here's the 9:40. Here's the 9:42 candle. So it's 1, 2. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These 5 candles. These 5 red candles with this really quick move down stopped me out. All right, and you'd think like I get pissed, but again, I wasn't, because this was a break-even trade. So I really found myself emotionally handling this really, really well. Stopped me out, and then proceeded to bounce back up, which was, I was a little suspicious of it, not gonna lie, but it did have a little bit of a V. So I kind of think like, if we zoom out a little bit. Real quick, if we zoom out and reset the chart, you can kind of see that the market's been choppy, and we had just we made a new low last week of for the week anyway, and so usually after that it wants to bounce back up, and then once it hits a resistance area, it'll go back down. We're in a range right now. Market really has no idea what it wants to do. It's just chopping up back and forth, and just driving most novices insane. So I feel fortunate that I have been maintaining my composure and taking more. I might be taking an equal number of winning trades as losing trades. But because my risk management is solid and my wins are bigger than my losses, even if I'm winning half and losing half, I'm not break even. I'm actually profitable over the past couple of weeks, going all the way back to like June. When did I start broadcasting? Like June. I don't know. I don't remember. But most of these red and blue arrows that you see, this clutter of red and blue arrows, is what I'm here to share with with all of you here at YouTube. Anyway, let's zoom in a little bit and let's talk about what happened on the breakout. So, mentally, I told myself, you know what? I'm going to stop chickening out on these breakout trades. I'm just going to take it because they work like half the time. And like I just got done saying, 50-50 with proper risk management is a really good win rate. If you do it, if you manage your risk the right way and you let trades play out. So that's what I did. What did so above this, the high of this candle is 3016.50. That's where I took my entry. The arrow down here, it shows it down here, but really I took the entry right up here. And I think I took more than one contract, even though it only shows one. Maybe I only took one. I can't really remember. I think I meant, I think what it was that if I'm recalling, if I recall correctly, this movement happened really quick, and I think I just market ordered as soon as it was around this area right here, and I was only fast enough to do it with one contract, and then it started moving, and I guess I could have squeezed in another over the next minute or so, but I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna I was already kind of frazzled by the speed, and I ended up taking just the one contract, right? And it worked out. But I only took a 1-to-1. This was the risk was, I'll just put the lines here. So the risk was around this right here. Magnet mode is on. So, and a 1-to-1 risk ratio on this is, boom. Yeah, so this is where I took my profit. This candle right here. If I were to be more precise about it here, there's a 1-to-1 ratio. I didn't get to squeeze in a second contract at all, but here's where the rest of my profits came from. You guys already know I really like quarters. I really like to play off of these nice round numbers. I think they provide a psychological element to the game that most people like to disregard and see. Not all prices are made equal. I really believe that. 3011 is not as compelling and as strong as 3000 even. 3017 isn't as compelling and as strong and as like psychologically, subconsciously memorable as 3025. So that's why I like to take these pullbacks and bounces off the quarters, and they work again about. I think they work a little more than 50%, but you can argue they only work about half the time, big picture wise. But for me, it's more of a mental thing. Again, everything for me on this vlog really comes down to managing mentality and emotions, and just managing yourself is really where I think trading gets less stressful and starts to become more enjoyable and more systematized and ultimately more profitable. So I took a long off the 3025, I think, or was it 3000? I don't know. I'm gonna have to pull out and zoom out a little bit and take a longer. Okay, here we go, right here. So I did take a pullback to my order got picked up from 3025. I took this. I usually, when I take these quarter trades, I usually go for another quarter. I don't understand here. I know I took two contracts. Okay. I know I took 2 contracts, but it only shows the one. I think what happened is it I'm so okay, I remember. Sorry, I had to gather my thoughts and remember what happened here. So I am still getting used to the idea of placing multiple orders in TradingView. It's a new it's not a new interface, but it's like I actually have to pay attention to the number of contracts now. Like if I were to just probably get, let's say I wanted to place an order at 3,050, I have to actually pay attention to this. And what happens is, like, I'll do this right now, because since I probably want to take one at 350, I usually go for a 50 tick stop, which is 12 and a half points, and my profit for the is usually a 2-to-1, which is 100 ticks, which is 25 points. Four ticks to a point, 100 ticks is 25 points, which would bring me to 3075. I didn't really know what I was doing in terms of entering orders, and it ended up putting 2 take profits at 3050 when I just wanted to take profit on one of the contracts at 3050 and leave the other to open to go all the way to maybe, I don't know, take it as long as I can take it, right? And maybe use a trailing stop to lock in profits along the way or something like that. I didn't really expect this to take out profits here, but whatever. I'm not going to complain. I just didn't manage the take profit the way that I should have to participate in this kind of movement right now. But it's all good. What ended up happening was, like, something got screwed up, and I ended up taking, not only did I take profit for 2 contracts here, which was a total of $125 times 2, so it was a total of $250 that brought my profits up to like $500 for the day, including the 200 some odd plus the $250+ that I made last night on on the weekend open, on the Sunday night open. So somehow there was an extra order that got sent here that I still don't know exactly how, but somehow I took a short here as well. And so that's what you're seeing here. The second arrow is a short that I took, and I just immediately, as the market reopened, I just immediately closed it out, because that's a trade, whether I was in profit or not, I didn't want to take it, right? That's not a trade I asked for. And even though it was like a few dollars in green, that's not what I wanted. So so to me that was and I actually ended up scraping a few extra bucks off the floor by accident. So I guess I have to say I was pretty lucky there as well. Anyway, I'm probably gonna try and take another trade right now. So this is probably one of the first trades that I'm doing live, one of the first entries I'm taking live with you here. Is I think the better way to do this is to enter one order like this, right, where I want to just get the 1-to-1. So here you see that I am buying one contract when it bounces down to the 3050. Fortunately, it looks like a pretty nice candle structure on the 15-minute candle there, on the 15-minute chart. It's not too bad. I will take it. I feel like these lows should hold. So I could probably push my stop up a little bit, but usually, as a general rule of thumb, I go for 12.5 points. But so I'm just gonna stick with that for now. But I might move that up if I can minimize risk. I will always take that deal. Okay, and then I'll take another trade where I will do the same stop, but a bigger profit, which is going to be that 100 point profit. So this is not how I did it before. I just entered 2 contracts before. And, oh, I have a bunch of other swing trading orders, and the margins are different, after when it's regular trading hours are over. So I guess I don't have enough margin to do that. I have pending orders on like natural gas and stuff. Yeah, this right here is locking up a ton of my margin. I have 2 orders. See, this is a really good example. So I have there's actually 2 orders under there. It's just at the same spot. This is more of a long-term trade. This is not a day trade. This is one where I'm hoping for price to retrace all the way back down to this area right here, pick up my order, get me in the trade, and then bounce back the same way it did right here, right? I'm looking for that same kind of, down and very quick upward uptrend, if you will, quick reversal right here. Now you can see that my first take profit is a 1-to-1 based on where my stop loss is, and my second take profit is all the way up here. Although if the move is anything like what this looks like here, I might be selling myself short, but that's what that's where I have it, right? I like to be conservative so I don't lose out on profits. I used to do that a lot, where I just gave up. I'd be in profit hundreds of dollars, and because I got greedy, I let it come all the way back down to either a break even or even a loss sometimes. Anyway, so this is what's taking up a lot of my margin right now, especially on the in the Globex trading hours, which is what we're in right now. It's just before 7 p.m. here in New York City Eastern time. So margin requirements are higher. I'm not going to be able to take this, or I'm not going to be able to add a second order here to manage the risk. So I'll just leave this as is for now. The way that this looks like it's going is just going to plow right through, and it's not even going to pick me up. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But that about does it for today's video. I guess the new thing for today was that I took multiple contracts. It didn't actually end up giving me any more profit in terms of points. I just ended up doubling down on every trade that I took. Although the managed risk is actually working out for me in terms of my mentality and my emotions. It's actually helping me out because it's helping to keep me calm even in the face of losses, which is like what happened right. When did it happen? Right here, I believe. Yeah, on the open today, on the opening hour today, we had this nasty wick that came all the way down. This is the hourly, so if I go down to the 15 minutes, so this right here, this 15-minute chart, the opening 15 minutes actually stopped out my overnight order, and I was like, no big deal, not really. I don't really care all that much, because it was a break-even trade because I had already done. I was already in that particular trade for free, so. Taking multiple contracts and taking a 1-to-1 to ensure a free trade is my is I guess like the new strategy that I'm incorporating into my trading going forward. So little bits and pieces, we're building upon the basics. A few weeks ago I was just doing daily breakout trades, and this week or last week, I added more money into the account to give myself the opportunity to be able to take multiple contracts, and I've already kind of stretched it out pretty thin because I have a pending order here for a much bigger trade, and the margin requirements have gone up now that we're in the Globex trading hours. So can't demo that live, but I did give you an example of it with the natural gas trade. So That about does it for today's video. Thanks for joining me today. It was a day in green. 520 some odd dollars in profit. Pretty good day for for the past 24 hours. Let's keep the streak going. While you're here, make sure you subscribe and make sure you follow so that you can pay attention and keep track of my performance here. Win or lose, I'll be trading and summarizing my results on a daily basis. So stay tuned for the next video from YouTube, and I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks, everyone.